Let's get one thing straight. INFJs aren't antisocial. We're not withdrawn because we dislike people. We're not distant because we're cold. We're not quiet because we have nothing to say. We've just seen too much. Felt too deeply. Given too often without getting it back. INFJs are done, not with humanity, but with its noise, its fakery, its emotional pollution. You're not antisocial. You're selectively social. You're protective. You've learned that your peace is sacred and that not everyone deserves access to your inner world. This video is for every INFJ who has ever been labeled distant, weird, antisocial, or cold. For the ones who've stopped explaining themselves because no one really listened. For the ones who love people deeply but cannot tolerate BS anymore. Welcome to the INFJ sanctuary. Let's unpack why you are not antisocial. You're just done with all the noise that doesn't speak to your soul. 1. You've been burned too many times. You didn't start out guarded. You started out open, radiant, giving. But time and experience have taught you something heartbreaking but true. Most people don't appreciate emotional honesty. They exploit it. INFJs are born with an open heart, and that heart has been handed to the wrong people far too often. You've been the friend who listened while no one asked how you were doing. The partner who forgave too many red flags. The co-worker who stayed late, did the work, and got overlooked. Eventually, the pattern becomes too obvious to ignore. Your emotional labor goes unpaid. Your presence gets taken for granted. And so, you retreat. You withdraw not out of hatred, but out of wisdom. INFJs aren't antisocial. They're exhausted. And when you reach a point where your energy feels too sacred to waste, people will call it antisocial. But in truth, it's you finally honoring your own boundaries. 2. You read people too deeply to tolerate fakeness. INFJs don't just meet people. You read them. You see the cracks in the mask, the tension behind the smile, the contradiction between words and energy. When someone says, "I'm fine," you hear the storm they're hiding. When someone laughs too loudly, you feel the insecurity underneath. This ability to sense emotional undercurrents isn't a superpower you chose. It's a gift you were born with. But it comes at a cost. You can't unsee what you see. So when you distance yourself from someone, it's not rudeness, it's self-preservation. You feel the lies, the manipulation, the emotional immaturity. And you just don't have the patience to pretend anymore. To people who live on performance, your refusal to play along looks like antisocial behavior. But really, it's integrity. 3. Your energy is limited, and you've learned to protect it. You've learned that your energy is sacred. Not everyone gets access. As an INFJ, you feel everything. You absorb moods, atmospheres, and hidden emotional vibrations. Being around people means managing not only your own emotions but theirs too. That's a heavy weight. One that requires recovery. So you're careful now. You say no more often. You decline calls. You leave texts unanswered. Not because you're mean, but because you've realized you can't save everyone, and you shouldn't have to. To people who demand constant access, you look distant. But you're just healing. You're just choosing peace. You're not antisocial. You're energy aware. 4. You've outgrown social games. You're not interested in playing roles anymore. The INFJ doesn't care for fake smiles, shallow compliments, or social games. You see through them. You've played along in the past, smiled when you were hurting, agreed when you wanted to walk away, but you've outgrown that phase. Now, you'd rather sit in silence than fake interest. You'd rather disappoint someone with your truth than please them with a lie. That makes you look antisocial in a world that thrives on performance. But you're just done betraying yourself for the comfort of others. 5. When you speak, you shake people. You're not quiet because you have nothing to say. You're quiet because most people aren't ready to hear what you see. INFJs don't speak often, but when they do, their words land. You've watched people freeze after you've named the very thing they were running from. You've seen tears rise when you speak a truth they didn't even know they needed to hear. That kind of impact is rare. And it can be intimidating. So rather than show up everywhere and talk about nothing, you reserve your presence for spaces that can hold your fire. They call you antisocial. But you're just done wasting your voice. 6. You're not meant to fit in, you're meant to wake people up. INFJs aren't designed for groupthink, conformity, or social fluff. You're here to challenge the surface, to dig under the noise, to awaken others with your presence. That often means walking alone. It means being misunderstood. It means being called antisocial when, in reality, you're just in alignment with something deeper. Your mission is connection, but not just any kind. Soul connection. And that's not something you find at every dinner table, every party, every circle. It's rare. Like you. So yes, you may walk alone. But never forget, you are not lost. You are a lighthouse. 7. You're selective, not isolated. There's a big difference between being alone and being lonely. INFJs thrive in solitude because that's where their truth grows. You recharge by reflecting, creating, reading, and simply being, not performing. That doesn't mean you hate people. It means you value presence over popularity, depth over attention, silence over forced connection. You have friends. Just not many. Because not many can meet you where you are. And that's okay. You've stopped measuring your worth by how many people surround you. Now, you measure it by how many understand you. INFJs aren't antisocial. They're intentional. You've just realized that being around the wrong people feels lonelier than being alone. 8. Small talk feels like poison. If there's one thing that drains INFJs faster than a crowded room, it's shallow conversation. You're wired for depth. Your soul craves meaning. Talking about the weather, celebrity gossip, or surface-level social drama doesn't just bore you. It slowly depletes your life force. You try to engage. You really do. But it feels like shrinking yourself just to be accepted. And you've done enough of that. So when you say no to another social invite or slip away from the party to sit alone, people assume you're antisocial. What they don't understand is that it takes tremendous emotional effort to remain present when your spirit is starving for truth, for authenticity, for something real. You are not against people. You're against pretending. So let them say what they will. Let them label your peace as distance. Your solitude as strangeness. Your silence as rejection. You're not antisocial. You're just awake. Awake to your needs, your energy, your boundaries, your vision. You're not turning away from people, you're turning toward truth. The world taught you that being available was kindness. But you've learned that being discerning is power. You're not cruel. You're careful. You're not distant. You're deeply connected, just not to noise. You are not antisocial. You are INFJ. And you're finally done with the BS. Protect your energy, speak your truth, honor your solitude. If this spoke to your INFJ heart, let us know in the comments. Hit the like button, share it with a fellow deep soul, and subscribe for more real talk made just for you. Stay safe, and see you in the next one.